Hello and welcome! If you're watching this from Florida at all, just know that we're all thinking of you on the other side of the country and that we're wishing you the very best. I know I am. And just know that it's going to end and that you're going to come out of it so much stronger because life's throwing you a hard thing and that's what it's for, is to make you stronger. In the meantime, let's just distract ourselves with some self-development, shall we? Chapter 5 is the truth that sets you free. We're going to jump in. The drama of life is a psychological one in which all the conditions, circumstances, and events of your life are brought to pass by your assumptions. Since your life is determined by your assumptions, you are forced to recognize the fact that you are either a slave to your assumptions or their master. To become the master of your assumptions is the key to undreamed of freedom and happiness. You attain this mastery by deliberate, conscious control of your imagination. You determine your assumptions in this way. Form a mental image, a picture of the state desired, of the person you want to be. Concentrate your attention upon the feeling that you are already that person. First, visualize the picture in your consciousness. Then feel yourself to be in that state as though it actually formed your surrounding world. By your imagination, that which was a mere mental image is changed into a seemingly solid reality. Again, your ideal stays your ideal as long as you don't give it any feeling. The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. It cannot be emphasized too much that by creating an ideal within your mental sphere, by assuming that you are already that ideal, you identify yourself with it and thereby transform yourself into its image, thinking from the ideal instead of thinking of the ideal. There's a lot of repetition here, and the main thing is that you've been who you are for as long as you have been, up until you've decided that you want to be someone different. The point of him repeating all of this information is to get it into your mind what you have to do, right? The controlled attention, the controlled imagination, and the sustained attention. The idea of repeating this and repeating the action and holding your attention and all that is to push out this old version of you, this present version of you that you have been up until this point. So just if you keep seeing these things, it's for a reason. Every state is already there as mere possibilities as long as we think of them, but as overpoweringly real when we think from them, right? So thinking of your ideal, having the image in your mind and feeling it to be true, and then when you feel it to be true, you feel it as if being that has created where you are now, which is why it helps to have your eyes closed when you're visualizing this and you're not moving your body at all, so that you can really put yourself into that feeling of being what you want to be. That's also why it's suggested to fall asleep doing this visualization, because when you go to sleep, you're unconscious. So your body's not responding to anything outside of you. And, like I said before, you're sort of marinating in that being. This was called by the ancient teachers subjection to the will of God, or resting in the Lord. And the only true test of resting in the Lord is that all who do rest are inevitably transformed into the image of that in which they rest, thinking from the wish fulfilled. You have to change if you keep doing the action. Something has to give, okay? You become according to your resigned will, and your resigned will is your concept of yourself and all that you consent to and accept as true. So keep reaffirming those things, keep feeling into that feeling, and it has to happen. You, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continuing therein, take upon yourself the results of that state. Not assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are ever free of the results. So if you only keep it as an image in your mind, if you don't associate it to yourself, if you don't feel into it, it stays an image, and you can't get the results of becoming that person. or having that thing, or whatever it is that you're after. When you understand the redemptive function of imagination, you hold in your hands the key to the solution of all your problems. So with every problem, see yourself in the best situation in every problem, right? See yourself coming out of it the ideal way that you can come out of it. Don't think the worst. You are the key to all your problems. It's all in your head. It's all your thoughts. Every phase of your life is made by the exercise of your imagination. Determined imagination alone is the means of your progress, of the fulfilling of your dreams. It is the beginning and end of all creating. The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention firmly and repeatedly focused on the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it fills the mind and crowds all other ideas out of consciousness. The point in doing this action over and over and feeling this feeling and holding that feeling is to push out your present consciousness, the way that you've always thought about yourself and about the world. You have to keep doing the thing so you can change your own mind. You can change your own mind. Something has to give when you keep pounding it with these new ideas, right? What greater gifts could be given you than to be told the truth that will set you free? The truth that sets you free is that you can experience in imagination what you desire to experience in reality. And by maintaining this experience in imagination, your desire will become an actuality. You are limited only by your uncontrolled imagination, intrusive thoughts, daydreaming, and lack of attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not holding that feeling. When the imagination is not controlled and the attention is not steadied on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, then no amount of prayer or piety or invocation will produce the desired effect. You have to do the work. It has to be you. It can't come from outside of you. When you can call up at will whatsoever image you please, when the forms of your imagination are as vivid to you as the forms of nature, you are master of your fate. You must stop spending your thoughts, your time, and your money. Everything in life must be an investment. You only get one life. The past is the past. You don't get that back. Okay? Everything must be invested. Visions of beauty and splendor, forms of a long-lost race, sounds and faces and voices, from the fourth dimension of space, and on through the universe boundless, our thoughts go lightning shod. Some call it imagination, and others call it God. Neville follows this with the date April 12th, 1953. In Awakened Imagination, he would write, "On the morning of April 12th, 1953, my wife was awakened by the sound of a great voice of authority speaking within her and saying, 'You must stop spending your thoughts, time, and money. Everything in life must be an investment. To spend is to waste, to squander, to lay out without return. To invest is to lay out for a purpose from which a profit is expected.' This revelation of my wife is about the importance of the moment. It is about the transformation of the moment. It is only what is done now that counts. Whenever we assume the feeling of being what we want to be, we are investing." Okay, so don't waste any. That's why it's important to have a focused attention, to have control over your imagination so that you're not wasting any time staying as this old version of yourself, or this present version. I say old, but you're going to be someone new when you do the work. Or you're going to get what you want when you do the work, and whatever it is that you're after. You get it. You get what you want when you do the work, right? And this is the work. It's not hard physical labor. It's controlling your attention and your imagination. So in everything that you do, I've had a lot of caffeine today, sorry. In everything that you do, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money, right? If you want more money, right, you don't spend it on everything. You don't spend things without thinking. You don't spend without having a budget. You do not value the money that you have now. And it might look like all these people are sort of throwing their money away on these crazy things, but they probably can either afford to, or they're just showing off. They probably can't, and they're not going to have that money anymore. But that's not going to be you, because you're going to invest your money. You're going to invest your time. You're not going to sleep in. You're not going to not read. You're not going to not use your life to its fullest potential. Train your mind, train your attention, train your imagination to call up whatever image you want to see. And when you have the controlled attention and the controlled imagination, you can, like he says, you're the master of your own fate. You can do anything. You can have anything. You can be anything. You just got to do the work. And that work is controlling your imagination and controlling your attention and all the same things that you're going to hear for the rest of this book, because it's important and you have to do it. That's it for chapter 5. Let's take a breath. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw. I've had a good day. I hope you've all had a good day, and thank you for being here, and I love you, and you're going to be okay. Even if you're not in Florida, wherever you are, whoever's watching, you're going to be okay. It all works out. You will live. As long as you have air in your lungs, you have a beating heart, you've got a thinking brain, you're okay. There are no problems. There are only lessons. Okay, you can do anything. You've got this. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love you. Bye.